Hello. I am a 26-year-old male and feel like I am running myself into the ground thinking about this. I met a girl who has a beautiful face and personality, but her physical build is very slim and skinny. I typically prefer to date and find women who work out like me and have a bit of muscle and thickness. I really do not want to hurt her feelings, but I just cannot find myself very attracted to her physically outside of her face. I feel like I should wait and grow to like her even more inwardly, to where the physical side does not matter, but it has been very difficult. Has anyone here compromised on physical preferences for what they want in their partners and dates? How hard was it for you? Story 1. I would not pursue a relationship with a woman I was not attracted to. Physical and sexual attraction is not the most important part of a relationship, but it is something that is needed. If I am not physically attracted to her from the start, I will not grow to find her physically attractive. That is not how my brain or most men's brains are wired. Therefore, I would not pursue a romantic relationship with her. Story 2. If you force yourself to like someone, then you are doing it wrong. Never ever expect anyone to change for your own liking. That is not how people work. Be honest with yourself and others. It is not rocket science. It is okay to have preferences. You are not obligated to like someone and expect results to be different. Compatibility is important both physically and emotionally. Story 3. I feel like I should wait and grow to like her even more inwardly, to where the physical side doesn't matter. Why? If you are not attracted to her as a whole person, just let her go. You do not have to hurt her feelings by telling her you are not attracted to her body. That is a terrible thing to do to anyone, but there are respectful ways to break up. Story 4. You cannot date a girl who does not meet your physical attraction standards. Her personality does not matter. Consider it from her perspective. She wants to be with a man who finds her attractive. Women need that affirmation. If you are not that person, step aside. Story 5. I personally would not recommend trying to convince yourself to be attracted to someone you are not attracted to. Obviously, physical appearance is not the most important part of a relationship, but it is still important to be physically attracted to your partner. That said, you should not just walk away from her because of this. Maybe invite her to work out with you and make it something you can bond over. Once she starts seeing results, she may genuinely enjoy it and continue on her own. My attraction toward women always increased as I got to know them better and liked their personalities, but that basic level of attraction still needs to be there. We all have a type. There is nothing inherently wrong with that, in my opinion. Story 6. Physical attraction is not something you get over. If it bothers you now, it will bother you later. Do not expect people to change for you. Story 7. If you are not attracted to someone, you are not attracted to them. Forcing it is uncomfortable, and that person will feel really bad if they find out you did. Story 8. If you do not find yourself attracted, do not force it. There are plenty of women and men out there for both of you. Story 9. You could try having a conversation like, "Hey, I like being really fit and was wondering if you would go to the gym with me. It's really important to me that the person I am with also shares that passion." Or use your own words. As for your question, no, I didn't look at my wife before dating her and think, "Oh, I don't like that about her." No, she's perfect to me and always has been. She is my standard itself, not someone else, not someone more attractive to me. Story 10. There are around 4 billion women in the world. You will find someone you are attracted to physically and emotionally. Dating someone you are not attracted to is unfair to yourself and, more importantly, to the person you are dating. Story 11. 3 toxic relationships and societal expectations of me, as a man, made me seek a woman who would be caring and supportive. Physical attraction is still important. You must feel attracted to someone you want a relationship with, and physical attraction is a big part of it. However, I started paying more attention to personality because, in the end, my mental health comes first. A nice sentence I have read and often repeat is, "Every beautiful woman is sexy, but not every sexy woman is beautiful." I include personality in this equation. For me, for a woman to be beautiful and not just sexy, it is their personality that matters. Story 12. I don't do casual sex. I only have sex with someone with whom I have a deep connection and long-term intentions. That being said, it's a given I don't have a lot of sex. If I am not having sex anyway, then physical attraction becomes unnecessary. I don't need to have sex with my partner to be happy. It's like this. My current state is no connection and no sex. If I had a partner who agreed to not be sexually involved, my situation would change to yes connection and no sex. A net gain. Story 13. You learn self-control. You look past physical attraction, and you can avoid a ton of headaches. In this case, just have a preference for a partner who also takes care of themselves. Story 14. It is easy when you truly love someone. I even gave up intimacy entirely because she was more valuable than anything or anyone to me. Story 15. It is okay not to be attracted to her, but it is not okay to waste her time and energy on a hopeless situation. Do both of you a favor and free yourselves. Story 16. It sounds like you're attracted to some parts and not so much to others. That's not really a compromise, but more of a normal balance at first. I found that some things I can overlook and some things I can't by actually dating women of various attraction levels and discovering that it all blurs when you date for a long time. The best parts and worst parts just become her things and meld together. I will appreciate certain angles and positions without really thinking about it. It also gets mixed up in personality. The most beautiful face in the world stops being beautiful if it's always a frown in your direction. The most beautiful body in the world stops being beautiful if it's regularly a cold shoulder toward you. This is how I rationalize it. You are more than capable of being happily attracted to women that you initially rate physically low after some time spent with the person and them having a positive effect on you. The smile and hug will be more than enough for you, even if you don't realize it now. This is because before you have that connection, all you can really imagine is the physical aspect. Once you've built the relationship, the combination of the partner's mind, body, spirit, and connection will be so much more than a physical profile. You'll be able to think about her and recall her smile that you like. Before you have built a connection, all you see are the basic physical qualities, which may not seem good enough in your case. Once you are dating long-term, the physical qualities become a minority compared to your connection. If you find one thing that is good, then start from there and see where it leads. You could reach a place where her pretty face in your mind's eye is more than enough combined with the connection of jokes, comfort, and loyalty. Dating really is a luck-based game, and at the start, you really only need a few good markers. Along the way, you'll be able to figure out if it can work. Story 17. I would suggest you try being friends or approach it with a relationship-like mentality. It is possible that attraction turns on like a switch because other factors align, such as personality and compatibility. Why is the younger generation so bent on making lifelong decisions without taking anything for a test drive? Story 18. Necessity, I suppose. If I were that picky, I would never date at all. If I could be with women of my ideal body type, I would probably continue doing that until the personality also matched. Story 19. Telling you now, as a man whose friend did this and then realized he wasted 10 years. It does not work. He later found a woman he was more attracted to, married her, and never looked back. Story 20. You hang out with them long enough, you just kind of do. My ex was not my type. I did not find her particularly attractive. She was not an unattractive woman, just not my kind of features. But we spent a good amount of time together and had a good time. Eventually, everything just clicked into place. Story 21. You don't. If someone isn't attractive, there's no changing it and making them attractive. Being attracted to the inside is a misconception promoted by recent beauty advertising campaigns and social trends such as body acceptance. It is not real. We perceive the world through our senses, not our brains. If something does not appeal to the senses, you do not like it, no matter how beneficial it might be. Consider children and broccoli as an example. Looks are not the only important aspect of a woman, but they definitely do matter. There is no escaping that fact. If she is truly a wonderful person, do not hurt her by leading her on. Be honest. Tell her you think she is amazing, but you do not feel the same spark, and let her down gently. Story 22. I did it once. The more intimate we got, the more my body was like, This is not where we want to be, respectfully, of course. I thought my feelings on it would change because we would have lots of fun conversations and she would enlighten me on many topics. However, the physical attraction was fleeting at best. It is not a good spot to be in because you know they are great and pretty, but you cannot really force who you are attracted to. Story 23. Beautiful face and personality. I would have the physical attraction for those reasons. But we all like what we like. Do not string her along waiting to feel it. Story 24. It's a balancing act. I tried to date a great woman toward whom I had very little attraction once. I just couldn't do it. I've dated women who were sexy, hot, and extremely beautiful, but we didn't click. Great sex, but in the long run, I needed more. I ended up marrying a woman I find very attractive. I have dated women whom society would definitely consider far sexier. But my wife brings balance. She turns me on, and we are best friends. When I was your age, I chased the sexy ones. I was shallow. I would have walked all over someone like my wife. In fact, I met several like her and did. I had to mature through my 30s to appreciate a woman like I have now. Right now, I'm satisfied in every way. Good sex, lots of it. She is my best friend. I would never cheat. Not because I don't want to, but because I would never betray or hurt my wife like that. I couldn't live with myself. Story 25. Compromising on physical preferences is not the same as trying to find someone attractive when you do not. You need to find them attractive or it will not work, and it sounds like you do not. Could you grow to find her attractive in the future? Maybe, but does that matter? If you suddenly find her attractive, you can go for it. But until then, leave her alone. Story 26. I don't think you should compromise on anything. That's not fair to either of you. Everyone deserves to have standards met in a relationship, and those standards depend on each person in the relationship. At the very least, a relationship should start with physical and emotional attraction on both sides. You have a lot of questions to answer. It is not about whether you should compromise, but about the consequences of compromising. Let's say you date her, and you are both a match personality-wise. She is attracted to you, but you are only partially attracted to her. What does that look like, and how does it feel to you? How would that feel to her if she ever found out? How would you feel if months or years into the relationship you found out that she was not really attracted to you? Would it change anything, or would her love and partnership be enough? Finally, why is body type such an important aspect of your relationship? Bodies change, and you never know what will happen in the future regarding lifestyle, children, menopause, and so on. If you were in a relationship with a perfect physical and emotional match, but then the physical side changed, what would that mean to you? This is not for responses, but to help kickstart your internal thinking. One last thing. Do you need to have a romantic relationship with this woman? Or can you just be friends with her? Story 27. You do not. If you have a normal libido and sexuality, physical attraction is as important as personality. Fortunately, attraction is subjective. You just need to find the person who has the right personality and is attractive enough for your own physiological needs. You do not need a supermodel or anything, just a good woman who meets your emotional and intellectual needs and excites you. Story 28. I met a girl who has a beautiful face and personality, but her physical build is very slim and skinny. I typically prefer to date and find women who work out like me and have a bit of muscle and thickness. In a world where the obesity epidemic is at an all-time high, I would say you are missing out on an opportunity. Try to get her to go to the gym with you and adopt gym routines while focusing on a protein-centric diet. In a matter of months, you will have a fit girlfriend. Since she started off slim, her starting build is easier to work with, and she will not be as resistant to going to the gym. Having a self-controlled diet from the start will also help. Invest. Story 29. I had a situation like this before. There was someone I got along with very well, but I just wasn't physically attracted to her at the time. I kept things moving forward without trying to engage with her beyond friendly vibes. She was interested in me, but I ignored it until she gave up. She is happily married now to someone who loves her. So I am glad I never tried to force myself to be her boyfriend. Story 30. Don't do it. You will be doing her a favor. I could not be with my partner if I did not desire them physically and fully. Story 31. You do not base someone's worth on their looks. You base it on who they are in their heart, by their actions, and by how they treat you. Looks do not last forever. We are all going to get old and look like dried-up raisins. It just comes down to who you want to experience that with. I say this with love, but the mindset of looking for the perfect person is toxic and will likely lead to being alone or in an unfulfilling relationship. Story 32. I would not date a woman who finds me unattractive. For the same reason and out of respect for her, I would not date a woman I do not find attractive. It is not charity. Trying to be nice is a disservice to her. I am currently dealing with a couple of women who want me to enter a relationship with them, but I am not at a stage in my life where I want to. I told them this, but they still insist on spending time with me. I find that the more considerate I am about it, the more hurt they become. Story 33. I wouldn't say I am completely over it, but the moment I realized I needed to look beyond just appearance was when my ex, who I was physically very attracted to, hit me over the head with a full tequila bottle. Looks are important for sure, but that moment made me realize that being a good person is equally important. It opened my mind significantly to be more personally invested. Story 34. Because my best friend dated a really pretty girl who was very unpleasant and screamed all the time. That was the day I learned looks aren't everything. Story 35. We are hardwired for evolution and survival. Our lizard brain will only want to mate with what it senses are genes that will improve upon its current code. If your pre-programmed genealogy believes running and fitness are equal to survival, you will seek the same in a mate. Your genes think you live in a tough environment. They want a strong, healthy woman who can fend for herself when you are away hunting or need to migrate 300 miles when winter comes. You will not be able to deprogram this. Story 36. I do not compromise on physical beauty. If she is not attractive to me, I will not ask her on a date in the first place. There is no chance for her to display a beautiful personality. From the start, find a woman who meets all the physical criteria. Then you can assess values and personality afterward. Make sure the foundation is solid first. I suggest breaking up with her. It is better to save yourself and her the pain. Address this small issue while it is still manageable. All you are doing is depriving her of the feeling of being wanted. Women want a man who desires them physically. You can try to fake it, but eventually the truth will come out. Your body, eyes, and gestures will reveal the truth. This is like buying a Jeep Wrangler and then complaining about getting 12 miles per gallon in the city. You are trying to figure out how to swap the engine and improve aerodynamics to get 24 miles per gallon in the city. If you wanted a vehicle with good gas mileage, do not buy a Wrangler. If you want a thick, fit girl, go date one. There is no shortage of them. Do not compromise. If I am going to be linked to one woman, I am getting what I want. Story 37. I feel like I should wait and grow to like her even more inwardly, to the point where the physical side doesn't matter. Why do you feel like you should do a foolish thing like that? Did someone tell you that's the way to live your life? Story 38. Your tastes, standards, and priorities in a sexual partner and relationship may change as you get older. However, this is a long-term process. If you are not physically attracted to her to any real degree, you are better off, for both your sakes, moving on and finding someone else. Things that turn you off are likely to continue doing so. You are more likely to hurt her feelings significantly by continuing the relationship and then having to end it later. I have adjusted my physical preferences in potential relationships mainly because physical appearance became a lower priority, while personality and habits became more important. As the stereotype goes, your willingness to tolerate problems often decreases with age. Even in purely sexual encounters, I tolerate or am indifferent to much regarding physical appearance. However, I prefer certain physical and personality traits that I find attractive. I am not trying to judge, moralize, or signal virtue when I say that physical appearance is less important to me than it once was. I am fairly objective, considering I look average for my age and believe my social and personality traits are below average. I also have, and to a lesser extent still have, low self-esteem. When it comes to morals, I am sure I rank below what society generally accepts in some significant ways. The things you accept and tolerate or find annoying can change as you age, influenced by experience, outlook, energy levels, and hormonal changes. Even when younger, I have been attracted to some women outside of my usual type. For example, very slim and skinny women would be outside my typical preference because I am more short and stacked, or chubby rather than fit and muscular. This attraction was never forced. How physically attracted she is to me and her willingness to show it increases her attractiveness to me by several points. Story 39. I didn't know I'm in a relationship with an incredibly kind and wholesome woman who dresses frumpily and has no interest in being in her best shape. I wonder what my life would be like if I were with someone who put more effort into how she looks. We have a nice relationship, though. I treat her well, and as I said, she's very kind. I'm content, not excited. Story 40. Start with talking online without exchanging pictures. Reddit search for R4R and Forever Lana Dating are both great for that. Become excited when they cause a notification on your phone. You will eventually see a photo of them, and when you do, if you already love talking to them and enjoy their personality, it will be easier to find yourself physically attracted to them even if they are not quite your type. It does not mean you will be attracted to all of them, but I have found that it has broadened what I call my type. Story 41. I never had to make that compromise. I had a selection of girls when I was in high school and found the one out of the lot. I am married to her now, living together, and it is going great. Thanks a bunch for sticking around till the end of the video. Remember to subscribe, and until next time, stay awesome and goodbye.